This week, guest host Poonim joins Ruchi as we descend back into the spooky halls of Nevermore for Wednesday Season 2, Part 1. We're discussing our Slurp origin theories, debating whether we're Team Dove or Team Raven, and uncovering the real-life inspiration behind the Kansas City Strangler. Buckle up. It's going to be creepy, kooky, and altogether ooky. Let's get started. Hello, fellow yappers. I'm Ruchi.
And I'm Shalini. And we're your hosts of Binge, Yap, Repeat.
We're two best friends who spend an embarrassing amount of time binge watching TV, and honestly, we just need to talk about it. If you're here, we're guessing you do too.
Fair warning, this is a spoiler-friendly zone. We will be discussing lots of spoilers. So, if you haven't watched the show yet, hit pause, go binge, and come back when you're ready to yap with us.
And now, it's yap time. Welcome, yappers, to another episode of Binge Yap Repeat. Today, actually, Shalini is starting her vacation, so we're going to have Poonim as our guest host for the next couple episodes. Welcome,
Yay!
Poonim. What have you been up to since watching The Bear?
Girl. Well, I had a wonderful summer. I got to go to France and I got hip surgery. So if you notice I am in bed, it is because I am like 9 days out and, just listeners do not perceive me.
And if they were to perceive you, you look great.
Thanks.
For someone who is like, what, 1 week post-op?
Yeah, pretty much.
Crazy. Well, as a result, I'm sure that all of this TV watching and podcast listening has been keeping you busy.
There is nothing more healing than a good binge. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, I would say.
Great. Well, today we're going to be talking about Wednesday Season 2, Part 1, because they split this up into two parts. Part 1 dropped Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. Wednesday is essentially back at Nevermore. Her brother Pugsley has joined her this time around. And classic Wednesday, she begins to investigate a new serial killer case with the help of some new characters like Agnes, Wednesday's #1 fan, and other familiar characters like Morticia, her mom, just playing a much bigger role in this season. So, Poonim, what'd you think?
Well, one, I did not realize that this season was being split into two releases. So when I got to episode 2 at the end of it and it said 2 episodes left, I about had an aneurysm. No, I enjoyed it. I feel like it's nice to get back to this world, and Tim Burton has such a distinctive style, and it's so campy. I kind of don't understand why they didn't release it closer to like Halloween when everyone's kind of in that mood. But I don't know. I have to assume the powers that be are like, maybe there's higher engagement now or something. The actor who plays Wednesday, absolutely love her. Yes, I absolutely love her. She was also in You, and I loved her in You as well.
Jenna Ortega was in You?
Yeah, she was in the season where he moves to Los Angeles, I think. Otherwise, I mean, I liked it. I will say there are a couple of storylines I don't know exactly what they're planning to do with. Like, I didn't quite understand, and I thought the pacing was a little bit strange, but we can get into all of that later.
Yeah. Yeah, so you mentioned some things that I want to talk about. Tim Burton, one, he's the executive producer, right? And director, maybe? Yeah, I saw in episode 1 that he was the director, but then someone else directed episode 2, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, executive producer, and he's directed a couple of these, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so Tim Burton as the executive producer, I thought that was cool because I really liked that scene that they did when they were describing the boy with the clockwork heart who got into Nevermore and was in Galpin or whatever. Not Galpin. What was it called? What's the hall?
Oh, Calip something. It starts with a C.
Callahan?
Caliban or something.
Caliban. Caliban sounds right. Yeah,
Because I
so
remember at first I was like, did they say Taliban? And then I was like, I had to like rewind for a second.
wait a sec.
I was like, oh no, this went in a very different direction.
Well, okay, Caliban. Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so when they were first talking about this legend of the boy with the clockwork heart in Caliban, that whole way that they told that story in the animation style, I was like, oh my God, Tim Burton.
Yeah. And like, it's so distinctive too. And I like when they do that sort of thing when they're like, someone in the story is telling a story, so they have a completely different style and it's like animated.
It was really cute. I was like, oh, Tim Burton. Because I think I had seen that he was in the credits of the first episode, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then in the second episode, they actually had like his signature style in that animation thing, and I was like, oh my God. So I thought that was a really cool nod. And then your second point about why it wasn't released closer to Halloween, I was literally thinking that exact same thing. I'm like, I'm in the mood for Halloween now. And then I was like, oh, it's August. Rip.
Yeah, I'm like, pull out the pumpkin spice, get the spoopy decorations up, let's go get some candy and that, 40-foot tall skeleton at Home Depot. Like, let's go all out.
I feel like Halloween does get earlier and earlier every year. And so maybe that's why they're like, let's kick off Halloween season in
Yeah.
August.
Because for me, I feel like it really kicks off after Labor Day, because like Labor Day marks the end of the summer, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely started seeing some like Halloween stuff on the shelves. But I think that every fall holiday is guilty of doing that. Like Christmas stuff will start encroaching on Halloween territory. Halloween territory starts encroaching into like post 4th of July.
Yeah. Although I feel like Christmas, at least, there is a point where things are too early. Like if you haven't,
I would
like,
agree.
yeah, like if you haven't celebrated Thanksgiving yet, like that's a major thing. And like maybe Christmas can wait until just after Thanksgiving. But I
Yeah.
feel like Halloween, there's really only July 4th that's the limiting
That's like
factor.
the major holiday. Yeah. I
So
would
I,
agree.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, why didn't this come out July 5th?
Listen, listeners, if you know, please, like, this is investigative reporting. This is journalism.
Exactly. My other theory is that Stranger Things has quite the chokehold on
That is,
Halloween.
I mean, okay, but Stranger Things seem to alternate. It was like the first season dropped on Halloween, and then maybe the second season too, but there was definitely a season where it dropped on 4th of July, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is like a switch." Because it was like the season I think where there was like the mall, and I distinctly remember being like, "Oh, this is a totally different vibe, right?"
Mm.
And maybe that's when they introduced Erica, because you can't spell America without Erica.
Hey, got him.
I honestly am thinking about doing a Stranger Things rewatch. It's been a minute.
I don't think I watched the most recent season of Stranger Things.
Oh, you should watch it. You should catch up. It's like
It's the final
escalates.
season is coming out this year.
This year, I think like I want to say November, but it's split into 3 parts. So that I knew. Yeah.
Netflix, just let us binge.
I know,
Jeez.
please just inject it straight into my veins. Just let's stop kidding ourselves.
Yeah. Did you think there were any surprises in part 1 where you were like, oh,
I was honestly the most surprised that like Xavier's character didn't return and they just kind of wrote him off as going to some school in Switzerland, because I seriously thought that he was going to be a much bigger part of the show, and maybe he comes back in part 2, but for like how much screen time and how much like emotional kind of knots they got themselves in as like the main cast of characters.
do you want to know why he's not in part 1?
Was there drama?
There was drama.
Oh, yes,
So
tell me.
the actor, his name is Percy Hines White. He was accused of sexual misconduct
Shit.
at age 23. Yeah.
You know
So
what?
I don't think he's coming back at all.
It costs $0 to not sexually misconduct people. You know, it is free. It is so easy to just simply not.
This reminds me of our Hunting Wives episode where we're like,
I literally listened to that yesterday and I was like,
the,
bars.
the Dems don't want you to know that you can just be friends with women.
Yeah.
You don't have to touch them at all. It's
Yeah.
that easy.
Big Democrat, am I right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I had the same question. I was like, oh, what the heck? Like, Xavier was such a huge part of part one
Yeah.
or of season one. Yeah, it's crazy that he wasn't there, but that is why. So now we know.
Now we know. Trying to think of if there's anything else that surprised me. Well, a little pleasant surprise that there was more of the Addams family as a whole. So like Morticia and Gomez and the brother, and we got to see the driver who I'm blanking on his name too.
Lurch.
Lurch, the one that's like,
Yeah. Yeah, the classic Addams family.
Yeah, and like Fester comes back, and obviously Thing is there. I liked that part for sure, and I wasn't expecting it. I kind
Yeah.
of thought the season was going to be a little bit of a rehash of last season.
Yeah. I really like that part too, because I thought when I first watched season one, I went into it with no expectations. I was just like, oh, this is about the Addams family, specifically Wednesday. And then I was like, oh, Morticia and Gomez and all of the other like iconic characters are not really a part of this. It's really just about Wednesday, huh? And
Yeah,
Thing.
and Thing, yeah. But I mean, people love the Addams family just like as an institution. Like they're all
Yes.
like such characters and they bring this like dark, campy, hilarious vibe. And yet somehow the healthiest family dynamic I think I've ever seen.
I laughed so hard when Morticia was like, I wouldn't say I have a poor relationship with Wednesday. It's fraught.
I audibly laughed.
I thought the writing in this show was so good. There were so many laugh out loud moments that were just
Yeah.
hilarious. Um, who who's your favorite character?
Um, I feel like, I mean, I love Thing because how the hell can a hand be so expressive? But also, I have to say, I was super happy when Fester came back because I love Fred Armisen and the shenanigans he gets up to get himself institutionalized. Just chef's kiss.
He was my favorite too. Oh my God.
Fester.
Fred Armisen does such a good job as Fester. Like, even when they were like, oh, this is your cellmate. Watch out. He bites. And then he's like, hee hee.
Or like the lunch lady. I was like, I did not see that coming, but like, get it, Fester. Just get it.
Yeah. And then he was like, wow, I love a woman in chains. I was like, ah.
Like he's over here getting electrocuted. He's like, that tickles. Like,
Yeah. Oh, what a guy. So funny. Um, oh, so at the end of the 4 episodes, we realized that it was not Fairburn, Dr. Fairburn, who was
Yeah.
the avian. It was actually Dr. Fairburn's quote unquote assistant, who is Augustus Stonehurst's daughter.
Yes.
She is actually the avian. Did you recognize her?
Yes, she was Lily from The Princess Diaries. As soon as she came on screen, I was like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's just like points at the
points.
screen aggressively. That was me. I was like, I know her.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to place her. I was like, I know this person so well, and I don't know why. And then I realized it's because I watched Princess Diaries like 50 times when I was 10.
She has one of those faces that I think is just imprinted on the back of our eyeballs.
Oh,
But
yeah.
did you recognize Dr. Fairburn?
No.
So she played Maeve in Westworld, and she is like such a good
Oh.
character in that show.
Ah, okay, okay. I did. Okay, I see. Yeah. I did not put that together, but you're so right. Okay, speaking of like weird things that happened in part one, is the serial killer gonna come back or be relevant at all? I was like, why did she just go to this random guy's place to just like kill him or something? I was confused by that.
The crow
The
guy.
Kansas City Scalper at the very beginning. He's played by
Oh,
Haley
oh,
Joel
oh,
Osment.
oh, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't fully understand because I was like, oh, the tone of the show is very different than what I was expecting. Because I was like, oh, it's going to be at the school, but there was this whole thing, like the whole like I don't know, maybe it was like 15 minutes of the first episode or something. She's playing around with her powers. She's tracking down serial killers. Like, ally.
Maybe it's supposed to be a testament to how she has harnessed her psychic powers.
I think so. Yeah. Like
Mm.
she obviously didn't know anything about it. Season 1 was kind of discovering it, and then I feel like it's the bridge to this season of like, okay, well, I want to harness it. I feel like I've mastered it, and that also introduces like one of the key conflicts with the mother of like the
Mm.
way she's going about using this gift
Yeah.
thing. So in a way, I get it. I don't know that unless we had this conversation, I would have like put that together because I was like, oh yeah, she had a busy summer. Right on. I did the reading list that I was assigned, but she does this. So
I thought it was weird that they spent a lot of time on the first episode about it, but also it's kind of funny, so I didn't mind it too much.
I didn't mind the trope of uh when someone is trying to get into another space and no weapons are allowed in that space, and the trope of just pulling like a crap ton of weapons from literally everywhere around that person is one of my favorite, like all-time favorite tropes. It gets me every time. So her in TSA, like these giant knives. I was like, oh my God.
That was another really good one-liner, how the TSA people were like, "Oh, this looks like you've never heard of prohibited items before." And then she was like, "No, what's crazy is that you think that shoving people into a tube is some kind of utopia where weapons won't be allowed, where
Wait, yeah,
weapons
where
won't be
weapons aren't
needed."
needed.
Yeah. I was like,
And
"Oh,
then
dang."
and then what got her bag checked was sunscreen. I was like, I think we've all been there. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, "Is this a sponsorship from that sunscreen?" Because like the way that he was holding it was very much like sunscreen.
Brought to you by
Yeah.
Neutrogena or whatever.
Yeah. But I have a fun fact about the Kansas City Scalper.
Is he
Um,
real?
he's not a real serial killer, but he was based on two different actual killers.
Oh.
So the first killer was the Kansas City Strangler, not to be confused with the Scranton Strangler.
Oh my God.
Between 1977 and 1993, a man called Lorenzo Jerome Gilliard Jr. became known as the Kansas City Strangler. The former trash company supervisor murdered at least 13 women and girls between those years. And he was convicted of 6 counts of first-degree murder on March 16th, 2007.
Jesus.
Yeah. And he actually got more infamous, I guess, in 2018 because Piers Morgan interviewed Gilliard as a part of his serial killer series. Did you know that Piers
Okay.
Morgan even had a show about serial killers?
I did not know that. I feel like my only, I don't know, like Mindhunter was based off of like real ones, but those were the only
Yeah.
ones I really knew of.
Yeah, I was
Huh.
like, is Piers Morgan trying to be the like mind hunter?
Yeah, I don't, just imagining that is amazing.
Yeah. The article that I was reading this from, there's a picture of Piers Morgan just like looking very stone-faced next to Gilliard, and I'm like,
I
this
need
is
to
so
look at this.
weird. If anyone's watching the video, I'll put the picture on the screen. It's like he's trying to be stoic, but also it's like a really well-lit photo, so it doesn't look grisly. Just a guy standing next to another guy.
Wow. I feel like this is one of those things where it's like this sentence was really never meant to ever be uttered, you know? But because of the timeline we're in, like the most ambitious crossover event.
Yeah. Piers Morgan and the Kansas City Strangler. Okay, so that was the first killer. Then the second killer was a real life serial killer who was known for scalping victims. And so that guy's name was John Sweeney, and he was in the UK. So he murdered and dismembered two of his former girlfriends before dumping their remains in canals in Rotterdam and London. So he was arrested in 2001 and serving life in prison. Great.
Why is it always women?
The Dems look, okay, look, guy. Everyone, you can just be friends with women. It's possible.
It's possible.
You don't have to grope them. You don't have to kill them. You don't have to have sex with them. You can just be friends with women. It's possible.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like being friends, everybody wins. Scalping women, well, I don't think anyone wins in that situation.
You get beautiful human hair dolls. It's an item that is coveted.
I can't believe Wednesday brought one for her roommate.
Oh my God, I know. I was like, damn, girl.
Do you think? Anyways.
Anyways, yeah. And if you are curious about more information about John Sweeney, in case you have morbid curiosity, as we all do, he has a documentary called Until I Kill You, The Real Story. So there you go.
I will not be looking into that because I value my mental health and the ability to sleep.
Hey, and you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
So there's like one scene where Wednesday and her mom, they're talking about doves and ravens.
Okay.
And then Wednesday says something like, oh, that's because you're a dove. I'm a raven. So I looked up the difference between dove and raven because I was like, what is this? And so Morticia explained that if your attitude in life is more positive and optimistic, you're a dove. But if you're more negative and you're more of a pessimist, you're a raven. So that kind of makes sense. Would you describe yourself as a dove or a raven?
Raven, 100%. I mean, not in that I am overtly trying to be negative. I think I'm just a very, like, skeptical person. I understand, like, kind of both sides, but for me, I'm like, I'm calling myself a raven now, I'm either right or I'm pleasantly surprised.
Oh.
And that's just kind of, I don't know how I view things. Obviously, it's good to be balanced out. A lot of my close friends, I would say, are doves. Shalini. My fiance, Michael, I would say is a dove. So I think it's important to have, both sides.
I'm definitely a dove because I think I am very optimistic about things. I think I try to be pessimistic or I try to lower expectations when I feel like I'm really excited about something. But I think that's like, I lower expectations so I can be even more jazzed about something when it goes well.
I mean, that's totally fair. I feel like I kind of do something similar where I'm like, don't hype it up too much. Like, I feel like whenever I do something new or like something that I wouldn't normally do, I'm just like, just don't have expectations or just have low expectations. Because again, I'm either right or, I'm pleasantly wrong.
Well, here's a question. How do you think that correlates to your punctuality? Because I actually feel like the two things are very correlated. So like if someone is like, we have dinner starting at 6 p.m., what time do you arrive?
At 6 p.m.?
Just like a casual dinner, someone's asking. It's like in the city.
I feel like I fall within the window of usually like within 5 minutes of like start time. That being said, I've been burned by like, I don't know, a long Uber drive or a long wait for like a Waymo or something or, But I would not say that I am a punctual person, but I'm not like like crazy late or anything. Like I'm not fully Indian Standard Time, if you know what I
Mm,
mean.
yeah. I think that's correlated because I think people who are generally more pessimistic are more punctual slash early, and people who are more optimistic are generally more late.
Oh, because you're just like, oh yeah, like I'll get there, and like pessimists
Yeah,
are just like, we have to count for everything that could possibly go wrong.
exactly. I think
I
like as an
see.
optimist, I'm
I
like,
see.
we'll get there. We got plenty of time. Let me start a new activity. I gotta be there by 6, takes 10 minutes to get there. Let me start a TV show at 5:45.
I think that might be more of a cultural thing than an optimist pessimist thing because Michael and I are complete opposites.
Mm, yeah, I think
He's
that's also true. I think Andrew is more of a raven
okay. That makes
or
sense.
pessimist. Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
also falls along the line of like black cat, golden retriever.
I could see that. Yeah, but doesn't explain why I'm late all the time. So
Well, sounds like a
sorry.
you problem,
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
and then sometimes a me problem if I invite you.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay. Do you know if Jenna Ortega actually plays the cello?
I have no idea. I would like to believe, and I know that this is not true, but can you imagine if she went full method for this role?
Wait, I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
I think she did. So it says she learned to play the cello for her role as Wednesday Addams. She took lessons
Wow.
twice a week for 2 months before filming began.
That's pretty impressive. Because I feel like cello is such a full body instrument. Like the entire thing rests between your knees. Your whole like torso is like swaying and stuff. So I feel like would probably want to be as authentic as
Accurate.
possible in like just like the movements.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. It is a very involved instrument.
Yeah, for
One of my
sure.
favorites.
Aw. Yeah, I think it was really cool because I did feel like her movements were super authentic, and I was like, oh my God, does she actually play? Or like, did they make her character play the cello because she actually knows how to play the cello? I was
Oh, that would
wondering
have been
about that.
funny. That would have
But
been
I,
pretty funny.
yeah, but I guess not. I guess like Wednesday, the
Yeah,
character probably just plays the cello.
plays the cello. Hmm, that's
If
some fun
there,
trivia.
yeah, if there are any Addams Family stands out there who are like, of course, Wednesday plays the cello, let us
Yeah.
know. Okay, what do you think is going to happen in part two?
Okay, this is. I actually really want to discuss this because I feel like so many of the storylines introduced in part one were tied up. So where does the story go from here? Is it about this new music teacher? Is it about the new principal? Is it just focused on the mom-daughter conflict? Where do we go from here?
That's
Because
a good point.
the mystery of the birds solved, the mystery of the creepy notes solved. That was Agnes. We got the Kansas City serial killer in the first 5 minutes. Easy. You
Done
know what I
and
mean?
done.
Like, I guess the main thing is like Tyler escaping, from lockup, and it's like, okay, so is the entire second half of the season gonna be tracking him down? Is there
I
gonna
think,
be some redemption arc for him? Like, I have no clue.
oh, that's a good question. Maybe there is because I feel like they kind of gave her a love interest a little bit with Xavier and Tyler, and now both of them are gone-ish. So maybe now Tyler's gonna come back. I don't know. Because I was thinking, I was like, if he truly, well and truly hated Wednesday, he would absolutely would have killed her as a hide.
Well, I mean, the fact that he threw her out of a window in the final scene and she's like, "Did I make everything worse?" And I was like, um, let's take a moment to reflect. You just got yeeted out of like the third floor of like the outcast high max security asylum slash prison. And you're questioning if you made things worse.
Fair, fair enough. Yeah, I was surprised by that because I was like, if he hated her so much, like he would make sure that she's dead, but he
I guess because
didn't.
it was like right when all the police arrived, and like that's when he jumps onto the hood of one of the cars and presumably, you know, runs into the woods or whatever.
Mm.
So I feel like I can't tell because there was a line earlier in the season where the Christina Ricci's character, the one who played young Wednesday, like way back when, was like, "Oh, he would never hurt me because everybody knows that if a Hyde kills his handler, then that's it." Or,
Yeah. Like he's cursing himself or
he's
something.
cursing himself. Um, Wednesday doesn't seem to have any interest in like rehabilitating or just finding a human connection with him, right? She
Mm.
was there just for information about his
That's true.
father. So like
That's
I don't know
true.
where that's going.
Okay, so maybe no redemption arc between Tyler and Wednesday. But I do think there is another arc around the principal for sure.
Yeah.
So, well, okay, obviously he's not a great guy because he was the siren. Who's the
Yeah.
siren character again? What's her name?
I'm blanking on her name, but it's like her and her mother, and her mother seems to be escaping from some sort of siren cult
Yes. So I
in
think it'll
Florida.
be yeah, so I think it'll be her and her mom, like that whole plot story needs to be nipped in the bud. And then the principal, something shady is going on with him. The gala needs to happen,
Right.
and she also needs to fix her psychic abilities
Yes. And resolve the differences between her mother.
and get a new spirit guide.
I think that there needs to be some resolution on the Aunt Ophelia because they said that
Yeah.
she hasn't been seen in 20 some odd years. And they keep dropping hints about how the same thing happened to her and grandmama locked her up. Rude. So, like, I don't know if maybe she comes back and she's just like, Wednesday, don't do what I did. Like,
Do you think Aunt Ophelia is probably going to be her spirit guide? She's
right? Because
gotta be.
I can't imagine that, like, Morticia's gonna do it. Grandma's too busy trying to, like, I don't know, make
Hustling.
Morticia.
Grandma is
Yeah,
hustling.
grandma's out here hustling. She's like flipping graveyards left,
Yeah.
right, and center.
She is
Like,
a real estate mogul.
it's like selling Sunset, but selling cemeteries. Am I right?
Literally selling Sunset.
I'm like literally just spitballing things of like where they could take it because like I could not understand where they were taking the zombie boy with the TikTok heart
Oh,
or
me
whatever
to
it's
figure out
called.
Zombie Boy too.
What's his name? Slurp. I was like,
Slurp, yeah.
Slurp just murked like 5 people in like 3 episodes. And I was like, what? Like, he's getting wheeled away, and then is that it? Is that the end of
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
Mr. Boy with the clock heart?
I completely forgot that they wheeled away Slurp, and then when they showed him again in Willow Hall or whatever, I was like, "Oh, that guy looks like Slurp." I just completely forgot. I was like, "Oh, he is Slurp." I was like, "Wow, there's another one of him right here."
Yeah, I was so confused. And I was like, when he goes to eat the guy in the wheelchair, he says, "Hello, old friend." And I was like, okay, so Slurp is clearly gaining sentience with each brain that he eats. There has to be some connection with this ex-professor. I don't know what, because Slurp's story, as far as we're concerned, all that was shown in that little animation, and I don't see what that has to do with any sort of normie professor.
I have a feeling that the professor and TikTok heart guy were maybe friends. Oh my God, here's what it is. Okay, so basically, normie professor guy probably experimented on Slurp because normie professor guy really wanted to be a Da Vinci, right?
Right,
And this guy was a Da Vinci. So he
right.
probably tried to experiment on him to like see if he could gain his powers.
I mean, I guess, but wasn't the whole thing of like TikTok boy was like super good at inventing, and that's like basically like all he did? And
Yeah,
so,
because
like,
he's a Da Vinci.
so then, like, why would he, like, he wouldn't, I'm assuming consensually do that,
Yeah,
would he?
exactly. I think the old friend was ironic. I think it was like,
Oh, like
oh, it's
facing his
you.
tormentor or something.
Yeah, because he killed him, didn't he? He like ate his brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably like completely back to normal, just gonna walk out the front door and they're gonna be like, oh my God, is that a slurp?
Yeah. Well, that's what they showed in the preview for part two. He was like
Oh, I
wearing
didn't
a
even
suit
watch
and
the
everything.
preview. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, he was like dapper.
Yussified.
Yeah. I mean, his face was still but he was wearing a suit. I was like, "Oh my God, he has clothes. That's crazy."
Okay, yeah, because I was like the entire like first four episodes, I was like, what are we doing with this zombie? Like, I don't understand. And like Pugsley, obsessed with Slurp, the roommate, who is that character that's like, I don't think this is a good idea, and helps them anyways. And I'm like, these two are driving me nuts.
Yeah. I feel like I wanted more from Pugsley than was
Yeah.
actually shown.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll play a bigger part in part two because it's more about Slurp.
I hope so, because I feel like all we've seen from Pugsley is just a teenage boy doing teenage boy shit.
Doing the mom, can we keep him?
Yeah, except with like electricity.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Azula
So
action.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, so he's just being a teenage boy, and I've come to not really expect too much from him, so maybe there's some sort of character development arc in there, part two somewhere. I
Yeah,
hope.
we'll see. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Just, justice for hand. I feel like, I mean, not the hand, thing. Justice for hand. Like, they forgot his birthday
I
and they treated
know.
him like a little servant.
Thing.
I love thing.
Oh, what I thought was really cool was after season one came out, Netflix released a video of how they filmed Thing, and it's just this guy in a green suit with
I
just
figured.
his hand.
That's so funny. I love how expressive they make this animated hand. You know what I actually thought was weird? There was one scene, and I think it was towards the end of the fourth episode, where you see Slurp and you see Hand. And Slurp is looking at Hand. And I'm like, did Hand come from Slurp? Or is there something there? Did Slurp invent Hand?
No.
I could be reading into it. I could totally be reading into it. But I was like, is there going to be some connection there? Because, like, we don't know about things. Did I just keep calling him Hand for the last 3 minutes?
No. You
Anyway.
said Thing. You said
Okay.
Thing.
I was
Or
like,
actually, I don't know, but I knew what you were
is
saying.
this
It's
like a
okay.
Ginny and Georgia thing where I'm flipping between Thing and Hand, a non-existent character?
I think people will know what you're referring
Okay.
to. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe we get like a Thing origin story. That could be cool. Also,
Yeah,
just
I
the
didn't catch
fact
that.
that what is Wednesday's roommate's name again?
Enid.
When Enid opens up Thing's house and it's like, are you drunk? How do you even? Anyways,
Yeah, I also was like,
I
no,
just
ask this question, Enid. We need to know.
burst out laughing. How did you even? Okay.
Yeah, like what the Yeah, I think that's like what I was talking about when I was like, oh yeah, I feel like there are just some moments that just really made me laugh out loud that were just like small things that they put in.
Small moments that you just do not expect.
What did you think about Enid and Ajax and Bruno, that little love triangle?
I thought that was drawn out for absolutely no reason. I felt like it was. I understand that they're trying to have like a conflict between the two roommates now because Enid is involved with like a guy and the pack, and maybe that they're drifting in their friendship. The whole Ajax thing, I was like, this is so unnecessary. And then the new guy thing, I was like, this was at least like 20 minutes of screen time we could have dedicated to literally anything else. Like show us more Morticia and Gomez because they're probably the healthiest couple I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Oh my
Give us more
gosh.
of that.
That scene where Gomez is taking a shower and then Slurp is like literally banging the door down with an axe and then he's like, "Oh, you're feeling frisky today."
It's like, whoa.
I think if Fester is my favorite character, I think Gomez is my next favorite.
Next favorite. Yeah. I just love the whole family. It's just so much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm super curious about what they're gonna do with. Sorry, this is such a left turn, but like Steve Buscemi, we did not talk about him as
Oh
the principal. I
yeah.
love it. It fits so perfectly.
Wait, it was so funny when he showed up. I was like, this is literally Hello Fellow Kids, the meme.
It is. It literally is. And I love that he is so hell bent on fundraising. like like any sort this feels like Caltech alumni letters. They're like, hey, do you want to pitch in some money? Please pitch in some money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think it is funny because I feel like we automatically assume that he is some like nefarious character because everyone else on the show are serial killers or like some weird thing. And then he's like, I just want to fundraise for the school.
I mean, I feel like he hasn't done anything to raise suspicion, so maybe like yes. But what do we say? It's always the person you medium suspect
Yeah,
the
you most
most.
medium suspect. It's true. It's true. Yeah, maybe there'll be more plot line for Steve Buscemi.
I hope so, because I feel like he's got the little like finger fire zappy things, but my man is like priority number one is getting enough money to keep this school open.
He's got his eyes on the prize.
He is hustling. Ay,
Uh,
ay, ay.
um, that's right. Okay, but we're gonna do the
Okay.
two-part rating system. So we're gonna do what would you rate out of five, integers only for quality and enjoyment. Same thing out of five.
Okay. I think that part one for quality was like a three. I, yeah, for all the reasons we've already discussed. Enjoyment, I'll put it at a four.
Mm, okay, so that makes it seven for you.
Wow. Yeah, I guess so. I think that there was some serious work that could have been done on the pacing, on the storylines, on like all like the side characters and stuff. But did I really enjoy it? Yes. Did I watch all four episodes in one afternoon? Also, yes. Again, I mean,
Yeah.
not that I have like anywhere to be, but
You have a lot of activities at your bedside.
yes,
I've
yes,
found.
yes. I am healing. Okay. I'm very busy.
Um, I think I would give it, I'm gonna say 5 out of 5 for quality.
Okay.
I actually thought it was really high quality.
Okay.
And I think for enjoyment, I'll do 4 out of 5.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
9 total for me.
Nice. Okay. So when we come back for part two, we can see how that changes.
Yes, true. And maybe
Nice.
Shalini will offer her thoughts as well. We'll see if she's back.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Yay.
Yay! So part two will be dropping September 3rd, which I believe
Third.
is also a Wednesday.
It sure is.
Great. So watch that, and then maybe there'll be a season 3 on Netflix.
Yay. Yeah.
All right. I guess now it's time for the part in our episode where we talk about things that we're watching outside of the show. So, Poonim, what you've been binging?
So the latest season of Foundation just came back. So I think there's a couple of episodes out, so I'm catching up. It's like a sci-fi series based off of the Isaac Asimov books. And it's really good. I mean, it's on Apple TV, so like the quality is just so good. And I read the books a really long time ago, so I don't even remember, but I think they do depart from the original source material quite a bit, but I still have been enjoying it. And then on the other side, complete opposite end of the spectrum, the Korean dating show Better Late Than Single, which you got me into, and now my
Hell
brother and
yeah.
I are addicted.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Literally, my brother this morning like made breakfast, and he was like, "Okay, Poonim, we have to finish this episode." I was like, "Aye, Captain."
Yappers, stay tuned. We may release an episode on Better Late Than Single because Poonim and I have much to discuss about the show.
I feel like it's grabbing me so much more than like typical dating shows. It's different enough, but it's very enjoyable.
Yeah,
So, highly recommend.
I agree. Like I'm so over like Perfect Match, Too Hot to Handle, Love Island. I'm always like, okay, hot, not that smart people. I guess, that has run its course for me now. And now I'm like, I just want to watch awkward people date each other.
I mean, I feel like the intentionality behind it is also very different, right? Like in Western dating shows, it's like they're there for clout, they want to get followers, jump off and do like influencing. It has nothing to do with actually finding, not that these things are set up for romance necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope we do an episode because I have lots of thoughts on that show.
I write them all down because I'm serious about doing an episode. All right, yappers. Well, thanks for listening. And remember, always be watching.
Thanks for yapping with us. If you loved this episode, have some hot takes we missed, or if you've got a show you're dying for us to binge next, follow us on socials. We're at Binge Yap Repeat.
Until next time, happy binging.